In this week's episode, we talk about megadoses of psychedelics. You need to get mushrooms and say, what do you have to tell me?
When I took that megadose,
The day after she took her megadose, she came to my house because we were going to do a gig together. So she came to the house for a lift and she was holding flowers that she'd picked in a field.
yeah, I like nature.
I like nature. My name's Fern, for f***'s sake.
Love is blind.
This show is so straight that it's gay. And, the next top model documentary.
Ignore that feeling.
I was in Naples on my holidays and I was walking through the streets and I heard the opening bars of the Macarena, which is sort of like, like a siren song.
It's the dancer's call to prayer, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
And I saw people doing the Macarena and I started to dance the Macarena too with them. And my partner just walked away from me and refused to do it.
What time was this in the day?
Nighttime.
Nighttime.
Is this grounds for dissolving the partnership?
No, I don't think so. You bring up a lot of stuff that you feel is grounds for dissolving the partnership.
But to do the Macarena, imagine, because he did it a bit, he sort of half-heartedly did it, and then I turned to all the other people and I was dancing with them.
Yeah.
And then I turned back and he just walked away.
But wait,
He'd walked away from me down the street.
You were indicating before, like, it was like he never even tried. It sounds like he did try the Macarena, didn't feel it.
In a way where I was like getting his hands and turning them over for him.
But isn't consent important to dancing?
But do you not think that's like really joyless? Or would you, if you heard the Macarena in the street, would you just walk past?
No,
normally?
I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I
there's a
thought.
compulsion. Yeah, no, absolutely. But also, like, I do a lot of stuff that normal people wouldn't do. So I can't, I can't judge people on what my actions would be.
But I'm his manic pixie dream girl, so he should be joining in. But he just was like, I can't.
This is the part, like 65 minutes into the film, where the manic pixie dream girl is like, come on now, you have to. And then he breaks away.
He just was like, I can't do that.
I can't Macarena.
He said that he couldn't because someone was loudly blowing a whistle the whole time.
Right, he said the Macarena. Where did he get the whistle from? Was this? So this is
At the whistle shop. What are you on about?
I don't know. But like, okay. So what would you have liked from him? What if he danced
For
too
him
much?
to dance the full Macarena just till the end.
Yeah.
So I went to Naples to do a half marathon.
Yeah, how was
Not
it?
a great place for autistic people.
Really?
There's no respect for your space.
Yeah.
It's
I
very
love
loud.
it.
I think you would have liked it, but it's hard not to get run over. Like, people drive scooters in the middle of the street. It's a lot of like really narrow alleyways and cars trying to squeeze round corners. It's really chaotic.
Oh my God.
And it was also like a place almost untouched by progress. But like that was what was cool about it.
Yeah.
I ate so much pizza. I'm so sick of pizza. And then I did a half marathon and I was in agony with my back. And on the way, I said to the taxi driver, la scieda fa male, which I think that's like back hurts.
Back hurts.
And I said, like, I don't think I can run the marathon.
Yeah.
And he handed over something. He gave me this little packet. And then he said,
it was Vicodin.
no, he just gave me this little paper packet and he said, Dio vede e provvede, which means God always provides.
Wow. Vicodin.
And then, so I took it and then Connor looked up what was on the packet and it was like, this painkiller has been banned in several EU countries. But I finished the half marathon.
On it.
Yeah.
I do love a dangerous over the counter. I do.
A lot of the pictures I was like this, with my arms over my head because I was in agony.
And on so many opiates that you were
it wasn't even an opiate. I don't know what it was.
Well, if my painkiller don't have an opiate in it, I ain't interested.
No, it wasn't an opiate, but it kind of took the edge off the pain. But I was running as hard as I could and really like trying to keep my spirits up. And then I saw a one-legged man racing ahead of me. He had crutches and he just was swinging along on the one leg.
I can imagine that. Yeah.
But he was beating me. And the other thing that happened while I was running as hard as I could is a man was doing, I think it's called jeffing, a man was doing like fast walking. It's where you sort of walk in a sassy way.
I've seen that.
And he like sassily walked ahead of me and I was running so hard. There was like 80-year-olds keeping pace with me and them beating me. It was so humiliating.
This is like when I do the park runs and like it is a non-toxic place and everything like that. But I do see people who are less fat than me like really try to overtake me and make a point, you know? Would it be... Who is it acceptable to run past you?
People that are the exact same size and age as me.
But some people are like beyond their age. You know, there's just going to be some people that are old that are just class.
To be honest, I often get beaten by old people at parkrun.
Are you happy with like your marathon training and stuff? Like,
no, I really regret signing up to do it. The number of times I've thought, why do people do this? Or I've thought I should have just donated the amount of money I've raised. I should have donated that to the charity and not done the marathon. You just think, why are people? There's such a Catholic thing. It just constantly feels like I'm doing penance for something.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I feel like you'll be proud of yourself when you do it. I'm sad that I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, I wish you were.
Yeah. Because that's the only time you'll get me at a marathon. It's like to support you.
I don't know. I think you've got the natural energy for a runner, the way you were at parkrun.
Thank you.
And just the way you are in terms of constant, like you can't sit still.
Yeah.
Constantly bursting into song. That's energy that could be used running for hours and hours.
Yeah, because I've noticed like I was watching stand-up comedy and I need to constantly be doing stuff with my body. You know?
So I filled out Alison's ADHD assessment the other day.
Yes.
Because you need, is it called like triangulation, where they get a parent or your partner or someone who knows you well? You need two of those.
Yeah.
To kind of back you up.
And now that I'm single, you're like my emergency contact.
Yeah. So I was happy to fill it out.
Yeah.
Because I think, because loads of comedians have ADHD, but they all seem really normal compared to you.
Oh, yeah.
I think like you and Marilyn are the gold standard. So this is what I've put on the form. There was a bit where it was like, does Alison ever lose or forget things? And I wrote, Alison once left a suitcase full of money in an airport. Somehow, I don't know how this happened, her glasses fell off her face in a graveyard and she was running around crying.
Yeah, that's true.
She can't go anywhere without losing at least one treasured item of clothing.
Yeah.
I no longer buy her gifts that are things that she could lose. Like, I got you earrings one time because I thought you can't lose that easily.
Oh, I did.
Yeah. Oh, I did. But I thought you can keep them for a while.
Yeah.
So then I said, I have genuinely worried if she had children, she would leave the child somewhere. And then I deleted that because I was like, that seems hateful.
No, I probably would.
What else did I ask? If I asked if you had trouble staying on task. And I said she has a strong work ethic, but seems to find the need to work in groups, which I found unproductive.
You do.
Well, because it's not working. One time you said, let's have a writing session, but it was just a chatting session. I thought we were going to work.
That's true. You've strong, like, boundaries and stuff.
Well, because I work best on my own.
You do. I work like I need to have. What do I need?
It's called body doubling, isn't it?
It is body doubling, or like leaving my room and then going to a library and then putting on a Pomodoro and a white noise
I do that all the time. Where you put on the timer.
Yeah.
Because I read that Michaela Cole's writing day, she'll say, I'm just going to do 4 Pomodoros
Yeah.
and then I'm done.
And I think Megan Nolan has said something like, you can't do any more than a couple of hours work in a day. And I'm like, she's right.
Yeah, if you're
just
doing
can't.
a book, like they say, just spend 90 minutes a day in the world of your book.
Yeah, that's clever. So I'm trying to, I was in the library a couple of weeks ago and this woman just like tapped me on the shoulder and I took off my headphones and then we talked for like an hour about her life and stuff. And, you know,
Did you know her?
No, I didn't know her. No, I didn't know. I do have this weird propensity. Is it a propensity? Is that the word where people tell me shit about themselves and then like leave?
What did she tell you?
She told me that she studied for a master's in America and she has 2 kids and she's caring for her husband at the moment, but she wants to get back into full-time education, but because she's in her late 60s, she feels like it's not worth it. And I told her she should. And that was about it, really. But it was like she was just talking about caring for her husband.
Did you get work done?
No.
Right.
No, I did not. But I was writing so I'm trying to write something at the moment about like my life and like I'm finding it doing this podcast and writing out this proposal. I'm gonna get EMDR therapy.
Right. I'm trying that soon.
Are you?
Yeah.
Maybe we've gone to the same person because I did another podcast.
What's his name?
It's a woman.
Right. No.
Mine is a woman. I did a podcast and the dude who was presented it.
John,
yeah.
You could just say John Robbins.
John Robbins. So he, number one, said I should read The Body Reads the Score, which is now probably the 16th person in my life that has recommended
to be honest,
The Body Keeps the Score.
I wouldn't recommend you read it. I think watch him on a podcast.
Yeah.
And you'll get the message.
I keep listening to The Body Keeps the Score when I go to sleep and I'm hoping that it goes into my brain when I'm sleeping, like language.
No, just watch him on a podcast and you'll get the main points.
Okay. So he sent me pictures of paragraphs that he found helpful, and then he sent me an email of this person who does EMDR therapy. So
yeah, that's great.
We're going to do a session next week.
Because the idea is that trauma exists beyond language, so talking therapy. Because both of us have talked about traumatic things, and it doesn't matter. You can't articulate your way out of it.
If that was the case, then I would be cured.
Yeah,
because I've been articulating it since I was like 13 or something.
Yeah,
like that.
So you're better off to what is it like eye movement?
It's So apparently it's like
you think about the thing, and you're like.
Yeah, exactly. Like a cat.
That's what I imagine it's like.
Yeah. Just a cat looking at a laser of an XL bulb.
But I'm like, if I look to the left, how's that going to cure my feelings about my mother?
I don't know, because I think it must. Is it? I'm thinking of like.
Why not do a megadose of mushrooms?
I've done a megadose of mushrooms.
No, it was DMT.
I turned into a prawn.
Yeah, but I think you need to get mushrooms and say, what do you have to tell me?
When I took that megadose,
the day after she took a megadose, she came to my house because we were going to do a gig together. So she came to the house for a lift, and she was holding flowers that she'd picked in a field.
Yeah. I like nature.
I like nature. My name's Fern, for fuck's sake.
Nature is a drug itself.
Yeah, but it was very of all the cliches that you could do the day after mushrooms, being like, I just ran through a meadow picking flowers.
Well, today I filmed a particularly handsome pigeon. So it's like
she thought she was a prawn.
Like a legit prawn. Like a legit prawn.
But the really scary thing was, you weren't you trying to go into the shape of a prawn?
Yeah. So I was doing that. My ex was really good. He was being like a sitter. And I was like, the next day I was like, oh, I'm really embarrassed because I thought it was a prawn. And he was like, no, it was beautiful. It was like, because also I talked to the concept of masculinity in the ceiling. Like
Yeah,
that was my
that's
big
good.
thing. And like, I think I talked to my cousin, but it was more my cousin who was
Murdered.
and a man, and like, and he was murdered because of masculinity. I think it was like a fighty thing. So I talked to the concept of masculinity, and it was like we both bumped. This sounds so stupid, but it was like we were both on the street. We both bumped into each other a little bit, and then we went, oh, it's okay. And that's what I was saying to the concept of masculinity. It's okay, and then it told me it's okay, and that's. But then I'm like, that felt good. But I'm still riddled with trauma. It's like my friends that do ayahuasca, and they do say it's great.
Yeah.
But I am like, not to be like, this sounds cruel and stuff, but it's like they've done ayahuasca, but they still have a lot of the stuff that they had before. And I will too. And I'm like, will we ever be cured of that?
Well,
should we be cured of that?
In my view, when you have a big dose, it works for 3 months. For me, that's what happened, and then everything came back. Like, I can tell I need to take a lot of it again now because I'm having the same like repetitive thoughts.
Yeah.
So it's good for shaking up my thoughts, but I just always put it off.
It's like Botox then every 3 months. Just keep
I
it going.
don't have it every 3 months.
Well, how often do you have it?
Not consistently. Once a year, maybe.
What are you supposed to? How often are you supposed to have it?
Don't know. There's no rules.
There should be rules.
I don't live by the rules. But anyway, back to mushrooms.
Yes.
I saw the most benefit for the first 3 months, and I can tell when I need it again because my thoughts get really repetitive, and I'll overly worry about stuff that you don't need to worry about.
But then doing that all the time.
Yeah, but then I put off taking a mega dose because it's just a lot to have to think all those thoughts.
Yeah. So you just want a break from them?
No, because when you take a big dose, you have to think all the thoughts in the world, you know, and you have to see fractals for hours. So you're just like, you know, and doing that alongside the marathon training, you're like, ugh.
I genuinely think
It's like a lot. Oh, I tried to watch Love is Blind because Maurice keeps going on about it, our friend. But all the men looked the same. They all looked identical. They all had beards, so I couldn't tell them apart.
that's all because they're low-key Christian. Like, they all look the same.
Do you find, because I was watching it with my partner and I said, this show is so straight that it's gay. It's gone all the way to gay.
Yeah.
And he was like, what are you on about? And I said, well, I don't mean gay. What I mean is when you present something that's this straight, it becomes camp. The way they talk about love in it is so camp.
Yeah, because Kevin McGahern had a joke about how like heterosexual weddings are so heterosexual that they're gay.
Yeah. Like, and I'm being serious that I couldn't tell them apart because I was going, why is this guy like on all the dates? And he was like, we've watched 3 separate people now. The only woman I could tell apart was this. This woman, her arm was all melted and she just cries in every scene.
Because I haven't watched Love is Blind, but I'm listening to video essays on Love is Blind.
That's grim.
Because I don't have Netflix.
That was how I ended up. I kept seeing the same clip of a guy talking about Pilates.
Yeah, me too.
And being like, I just fucking need a chick to fucking do Pilates.
I gotta be honest.
I was like, I think he's getting mixed up about what Pilates does because I did Pilates for a year consistently and was like the fattest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Like Pilates, the effects you will see on the inside because you'll have like a really tight fanny basically.
Nice.
Nice. That's all. Every time they say
Maybe
draw the navel to the spine.
Maybe.
No, he just means, I think people have this idea that Pilates means you're going to be tiny.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case at all.
No, because like you're mostly rich if you go to Pilates and they're therefore quite tiny.
Yeah, it's so expensive. It's like £25 an hour.
I know. For these little pulsing movements, they are good though. But
they're good. I mean, it's been the most powerful my advantage has ever been. Was the year I was doing that.
Nice.
I should go back. I should go back for my back pain.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I couldn't get into Love is Blind. I watched the Next Top Model documentary.
I've seen that.
That was amazing.
It was good. It was really good.
I loved the two gay guys' friendship. And that they slowly realised Tyra was an insane lunatic.
I know, but like, I like them too, but they were fully willing to go along with it it's like, do you know what it's like? It's like being the smallest person in a bullying group, and then the bully turns on you when they've run out of other people to bully. Then you're like, I didn't know that was going to happen to me.
I'm trying not to name a comedian where that happened. Yeah.
But it's true. And it's like, look, it could be true with J. Manuel and Miss J.
Yeah.
Miss J getting that stroke. Like,
that was sad.
That was sad, but great timing as well. Like,
what to be like, and when he was like, and Tyra never visited me, and then his eyes were just huge.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt like Tyra, she kind of gone a similar way to Jim Carrey. We should talk about Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
but Tyra,
a lot of that on my algorithm.
Tyra is like meditated too much or had too much therapy because that was how she was talking all through the documentary.
The therapy speak.
Like everything where they were like, so you tried to force this woman to have extreme dental work against her will, or you chopped someone's hair off, and she would be like, I hear that.
You filmed the sexual assault. And
that was terrible.
That was terrible. And it's funny because, like, that's the only thing that they didn't cop to. And I think that's because there should be legal consequences. Like, you cannot.
Yeah.
Like, and it was so triggering.
Well, I wasn't sure if that was so I was confused. I didn't know if that was a sexual assault or if they framed it like she cheated on her boyfriend.
That's how they framed it originally in the program. But when she talks about it, it's like, so I've been sexually assaulted like that, and it took me years to took me until I did stand-up comedy about it, and then someone was like, because it was like to do stand-up comedy where you talked about losing your virginity, and I was like, well, I've got a crazy story for you, and it involves a house party and me putting on the telly during it, and I was trying to do comedy about how I thought it was funny that I put on the telly and watched Judge Judy during the whole thing. But then my boyfriend at the time went to me, that sounds like assault. And I was like, actually, yeah. And then I was like, oh, yeah. And I remember that the guy actively did not like me. Like, he didn't. And that kind of like ruined my whole perception of it, because I think my perception of the assault was like, oh, I've been caught or something, because I lived in such a like weird village mentality where like, it's weird. So then I had to go to therapy over that, but it took me like 8 years or something like that to even, it was a funny anecdote that then turned into something that affected me loads. So I think that's what, like, with her, it's like, number one, because when you get assaulted like that, it's the shame of getting that drunk, because you keep getting told as a woman that it's your responsibility to not get assaulted. And how do you have that responsibility? You have to stay with your mates, and you also have to stay, like, you have to go out and have a good time, but you cannot lose control. Yeah. And so, but they were totally painting it as cheating, and they had like Tyra then talk to her about, I was cheated on in Milan the day after. It was the most horrific torture I've ever seen and it, like, her, then she had to have that conversation with her boyfriend on camera.
That was insane.
That was insane. And he must have known, like, this is really fucked up, but he must have known that he was being filmed at that time. Like, no. I think so. Well, like, because I think,
but they would have had to have gotten permission.
They would have had to get, like, wouldn't they have had to get him to sign something to say, like, so, like, I felt so sorry for him and her, because he was like crying.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Then he was doing this thing of like, what have you done? You're so stupid. And I feel like that is something that like not even just men, but like people who are publicly being cheated on have to then show anger. He couldn't even, I feel like he couldn't actually be real about it, because you're almost performing this thing. It's like Love is Blind or First Dates. Do you know, like, in First Dates, there's this moment where the two people are asked, do you want to see this person again? And there's a little pause. And that's to give like an element of an out, to see how the other person feels, and then they go, no, I don't want to see you again. They're like, good, because I was going to say the same thing. And it's kind of like, it's a performative thing. And with the Next Top Model, there was her performing, like, she'd been assaulted. She wasn't even allowed to feel like she was assaulted because she was told that she was a cheater and that this was going to go out on air.
Yeah.
But she got drunk. So, like, she will always feel that responsibility on herself. I'm not saying, like, it's just like, it's just really, really fucked up, and it's a good kind of like indictment of the time. I think a lot of people watched it. I watched it anyway, and it definitely, I've had several things like that. And I've definitely walked away from the whole thing going like, I have let myself down, or I got too drunk, or they were right. And it's like, it's really, really fucked up that she had that on television. Like, I watched it. It was a bit triggering, but also I was like, it was kind of like cathartic to watch her talk about it and go, no, I was assaulted, because she got the chance to say that.
Does she actually say that?
She did. I think she did.
I don't think she did.
Well, maybe,
that was why I was she just was like, it was a terrible experience. And then they showed a clip of her saying, they maybe can't have her saying that in the programme.
Because then people would have to be legally... Like,
yeah, I don't think they do say it.
So, do you know what? I watched it, and in my mind, I was like, oh, she's been assaulted.
Yeah, they do show it as that, but they don't say it. And I think it's because then the headlines, imagine the headlines, and that company would be liable for it.
This is like the Catholic Church. Like, it's like letting assault happen in your workplace and then just covering it up. And like, it's just, and the cover up was, you're a whore.
Yeah.
Like, the cover up, for them to show that and for them to feel like this is okay, they had to really, really, really make it like her fault.
Yeah.
And then because they had her on her Tyra's like chat show after and stuff, and it's like,
yeah, that was so uncomfortable, that clip.
And she's walking her and her boyfriend tried to make it work, which is like, because they were like, another thing was, the whole series was like, she's a small town girl and she's so in love with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And she works in a greengrocers, and like, or a Walgreens or something, and he, you know, they're holding hands. There's a bit where she talks about she's holding hands with her boyfriend. This is after the series comes out and someone calls her like a cheating whore or something like that in front of her. But you know, it's just like, but it's that kind of thing of like, women are seen as disposable ultimately for like, when we watch like reality TV, it kind of like, it reminded me of that thing of women having to try really, really hard to like, I realised as well that my trousers are exact same colour as
When's the ADHD, when are you getting the medication?
I'm just a genie talking about sexual assault. You ain't never had a friend like me. I've been traumatized. You had 3 traumas since she was from. Sorry. What were we talking about?
Rape. Why did everyone switch to calling it sexual assault? I liked rape better.
I don't know. Yeah, because like we call crops rape, and we've no problem with that. Or
Call
rape,
what?
Like rapeseed oil. Like they used to be.
Oh dear.
But we did. My granddad's fields at the back in Lincolnshire, it used to be like really bright and yellow, and I used to be like, "What's that, Granddad?" And he went, "Rape," and I'm like, "What?" And it's like,
But why did they change it? And why did they change the word for prostitute?
Well, they changed. So I don't know why they changed sexual assault. Maybe it's because it's like people who've been,
well, like forced blowies and that.
Yeah, like they feel that they can't say rape, and they probably can't say forced blowies either. I'd like to report a crime. It's important about language.
I my friends talked about the increasing vagification of everything, and it's something that frustrates me because I like to know specifics.
You do, yeah.
So I think, for example, sex worker is an umbrella term that could encompass all sorts of things. Sexual assault, you want to know like what kind it is. Neurodivergence, well, which one are you? Because there's worlds apart, like between autism and ADHD, and brain injuries and Down syndrome and dyspraxia, and or queer. People saying queer, are you a bisexual girl with a boyfriend? Like everything is so vague now to try and smooth things over, or I don't know.
Do you think maybe people are keeping it vague so there's like an element of like community?
Politeness. Yeah, I find a lot of people want to... It's a way of saying like we're all in this together.
Yeah.
But specificity is useful.
Totally. But like it is useful, but also I'm like I don't mind if it is really vague or really specific. Like maybe like, so a bisexual girl with a boyfriend of like 20 years or whatever, like I know it's different from someone who's like visibly queer, and like because they could get hurt, they could get hit.
Yeah, exactly. Pass. Like I would never, when my first book was coming out, they were like, oh, can we market this as queer? And I was like, what? Because I've shagged women when I was younger. Like, I have passing privilege because I live like an incredibly hetty lifestyle. Hetty as in heterosexual, in case I'm not enunciating my words.
Yeah.
So, I think it's a bit different. But I understand with sexual assault, like I'm not a monster.
Totally, I know.
Why should you have to go into this specific terrible thing?
I think that's the thing. Because
I just mean I've noticed this broad trend now to be more and more vague.
I think it's a thing of like, so I think it's similar to the bisexual woman in a big, long heterosexual relationship. It's similar to a person that has maybe felt uncomfortable with a taxi driver, and nothing actually physical happened, but they had the fear of that, and they had to think about that for a long time. Like there's a tiny bits of trauma. Like so,
What do you mean about taxi drivers?
Do you know? Maybe I'll think of I'll tell you a better example. So when I got flashed years ago, that triggered a nervous breakdown that the more like physical sexual assaults never did. And that's because I was outside and it was like a sense of safety. Oh. But that's the least worst thing that's ever happened to me. But that's the thing that like fucked me up.
That's wild.
It is wild. And like it was because it was like a drive-by. I was on a bike. It's fucking stupid. Like the dude was like, number one, dressed like, even though like you can't like be the fashion police for flashers, but he was, apart from having his dick out, he looked comical.
What was he doing?
Oh my gosh. So I used to do stand-up about this.
Was like, he waving it about?
He was holding it. He was presenting it in a way that like, so I'm on the bike and the run up to this is like, to give context as well, is like, so a couple of days before I'd walked in on people robbing me.
Yeah.
And the week before that I'd walked, a guy had like knife in my house shit, robbing me. So it was all
knife in my house shit.
Yeah, you know, I'm being vague.
What do you mean?
I was housely assaulted. Sorry. As in the fuck. So I've told you, we were mates at the time. When did we become mates? You stayed in my house. And
yeah, the
like
little tiny room. Yeah.
So that tiny room, the previous house I lived in, I'm gonna just tell the whole story for the sake of it. Yeah. Because then we don't have to like.
You're kind of you're hesitating. Who was the knife in the house guy?
So I got home. So I had a landlady. she was very lax with letting me lock doors and stuff, and privacy. Like, I was like 22 or something like that, and she used to come into my room and do my washing for me, which I did not like. I'd been in this house a week. I did not know her that well, and I asked her if I could get a key for my door, and she was like, well, if you're gonna have a key, that means secrets, and you can get the fuck out. And I was like, okay, this is not gonna. But I the rent was cheap, and I lived with her, and I kind of liked her, and but she used to leave the window above the front door open. And one day I came home from a gig, and all the lights were off. I go in, put on Graham Norton. Because I hear footsteps upstairs, I presume it's my landlady, and we would watch Graham Norton together. I was at the time really into roasting nuts, and so I put some nuts in the oven, and I was like, I'm giving you the full, so, you know, the smell of the house, there's lovely nuts, right? It's getting comfortable.
It's like you're living
cozy.
in a Dickens novel.
I know, but it takes a turn. So I hear these footsteps upstairs, presume it's my landlady, Lillian. I call her, I was like, Lillian. And what comes down the stairs is like a man in like a tracksuit with a pillowcase over his face, and like 2 pillowcases full of like the laptops of the house. And like
was there eye holes cut in the pillowcase?
No, this is a quick thing. This is my fucking pillowcases, right?
Oh.
And my laptop is that shit that he only took my pillowcases and didn't take my laptop. I don't know, like,
wow.
nothing, like, yeah. So he came down, and like, he had a pillowcase full of laptops, and he had a knife. And he was obviously like assessing, because I'd called her several times. He knew that I was like a lone woman in the house. And so I just saw him come down, and I just presumed he was going to go out the front door, because I'm like, okay, I've been robbed, this is shit. But he came round the banister into the kitchen, and then like said, car keys. And then I'm like, and so I was genuinely panicking. I was like, I tried to learn how to drive when I was 15, but I couldn't work the clutch. And I'm just overly explaining to this man. There was a language barrier as well. Like, he didn't know English that well. So like, he was not taking it in. And like, so he saw my handbag on the table, and then he started going through the handbag, and I ran out the door, started screaming, and then like this little girl with a fucking chihuahua came, and I'm like, you're not helping anyone, like, we're not. And he ran out towards the canal, called the police. And I always had my phone in my bra, and people kept telling me, you're going to get breast cancer having your phone in your bra. I'm delighted I had my phone in my bra, because I had my phone to call the police. So then I moved out of the house because I didn't feel safe there. New landlord, Philip, genuinely, I've been in trouble before for talking about the one landlord. You
said
that
this
I love.
on another episode.
Well, I love him, and he
also, we exist in a bubble. Like, normal people don't care
about what,
like landlords being the devil. Like, we're really in a bubble in comedy.
I get so mad because I moved out of Dublin, and I'm just seeing. I'll stop talking about it, but anyway. So, cut a long story short, the second house I moved into got robbed. 2 men with what are those things? Crowbars. But they ran out, thank God. They didn't like check to like mug me or anything like that. Sense of safety gone. And then I'm cycling on my bike. It's about 10 o'clock at night. And it was a time around Ramadan, because it was like summertime, and it was like this dude, I'm saying this because like I was cycling home, and when it's like Ramadan and people are having like meals and shit, I used to live in like an Islamic area of Dublin 8, it was the best. And so I just generally felt safe because people were just out and about. And I'm going down this little road, and I hear this, hello? Oh, hello. And then I look and there's this dude, and he's like waving in a really weird way, but because I'm cycling, I'm like, what's he?
What, with his dick?
No, I mean, if he was, he wouldn't need to voyeur, like, he'd be keeping that shit in.
But what's the fucking Ramadan got to do with?
Like, when there's like loads of people, I'm just not like, I felt safer outside at that point. I didn't feel safe inside my house because I've been robbed twice, and I was always afraid to, like, I would open up my front door. This is that past week, and I would shout, fuck off! off into the house before I'd go in. And then my flatmates would be like, okay, you know. But so I was staying out as long as possible just so I didn't want to be in my house because I didn't feel safe in my house.
Oh, right. Okay.
I should have explained that. And so so I suppose when I was saying like Ramadan was happening is because like, so I would stay out till as late as possible because people would be out breaking fast and shit and then socializing after. So I'm talking like 11:30 people are out. Because like this was a shit time that the lunar cycle was going.
Yeah. So but he wasn't a Muslim.
No, he was not.
We've got a complaint for talking about Muslims too much on the podcast.
Saying what? What were we saying about Muslims?
Because I said I wanted a refugee to come live with me.
Right.
But the mad thing is that you impersonated a pig for a full episode compared to losing your virginity to a learning disabled man in dead man's shoes.
Yeah.
And me mentioning mosques got us a 1-star review.
This country. But he was wearing really baggy jeans at the time, like 10 years ago. So I know it's back in fashion now, but it was crazy to see. And he was dressed like, and I did say this to the police because like I went to the police and it was funny when the police came in because it was a real like Mayo, so like West of Ireland policeman who came in and was like, and he opened up the door and he didn't even see me. He's just shouting into the hallway going, he wouldn't have touched you at all. Don't worry about it, love. He's what's known as a voyeur, right? And I was like, it was like he was trying to pronounce sommelier or something like that. He was trying to give it the full like, but I had to give a description of what he looked like. And I was like trying to be so descriptive as possible. And that's when I realized as well that like, I don't know what, I have not seen enough penises in my life where they were asking me for like, was he circumcised or not?
Oh.
And I did not know the difference.
Oh.
Because I'd only seen one in like actual daylight or whatever.
One circumcised dick.
Yeah. But I've not seen it like...
When did you see a circumcised dick in the daylight?
It's like Groundhog Day. It's like once every year, spring will come. Like, I just don't know how to describe dick. I didn't know at the time how to describe dicks. So
yeah.
So there was that, and then like I didn't feel safe outside, and I didn't feel safe inside my house. So I'd always just stay in my bedroom, and for about a week I stayed in it, and I had to then go get psychiatric help because I realised I was having a breakdown.
Oh,
because I'd lost all sense of safety and stuff like that. Anyway, that's a wonderful anecdote. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it.
We are on a mission here to ignore that feeling.
You should wear this hat. You should wear this hat.
We are on a mission here to ignore that feeling. We're on a mission to get 1 million subscribers.
1 million.
By next month.
Yeah.
So if you like this, smash that subscribe button in the box below. And do get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you.
The harder you smash your keyboard, the more subscribers we get. That's the rules.
And you can send us a voice note on WhatsApp to 07754413722.
Or email us at ignorethatfeelingpod@gmail.com.
Thank you. See you next week.
Ignore that feeling.